and welcome to Community InRoads, spotlighting the many treasures found in Greater Lawrence. Community InRoads is an organization that helps Lawrence and Haverhill nonprofits make inroads towards social justice and economic equality. Our ultimate goal is to provide the necessary resources for the men, women, and youth living in the area to reach their fullest potential by fostering a strong network of local nonprofits. My name is Joan Kulash, and I'll be your host today. I am joined by our special guest, Heather McMann, Executive Director of the award-winning nonprofit Groundwork Lawrence, and Green Team member, Shay. Heather, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I haven't seen you in a long time. I don't even know if you remember the first time we met. Do you remember when that was? This is a test.
I'm pretty sure you came into the office just looking. I thought you were coming to talk to us in general about your organization, but remind me.
That was it.
Okay.
That was it. But it was even a little bit before I was going to be talking to you. I'm friendly with Rose Gonzalez.
Yes.
So she invited me to come to Groundwork Lawrence, and the first thing she did was she gave me a tour of all the things that you guys are doing in the community. And I'm seeing these gardens, and you were just going to be starting off with low-income housing, or housing that you're going to be working with, I think with LCW maybe, but just like big stuff. And then we're going to go back into the office. And I know I've told this story many times, but I'm expecting to walk into this big office with all these cubicles, with all these engineers, and there were like how many staff? 2 or 3?
I think there was probably 4 of us at the time.
The 4 of you?
There might have been 4 of us.
And at the time, Maggie was the
executive
director. I actually thought you were at the time. But that's when we were going to be working, I think, together. We started working on a little database for you, right? And then one thing led to another.
And you keep
here we
helping
are.
us.
Yeah.
Almost 12 years later.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Can you tell people a little bit about Groundwork Lawrence?
Sure.
Just high level right now.
Sure. I think the easiest thing to say about Groundwork is our motto is changing places, changing lives. So it's both about place-based, like you said, the gardens, and we were partnering with Lawrence Community Works on doing gardening for the new housing they were doing. And parks and trails, but it's also about changing lives. So we've got Shay here from Green Team, and that's about youth education, leadership opportunities. Shay works with us. And so we do everything from work with pre-K all the way through high school. And then we also do work around fresh food access, so farmers markets. So really looking at what are the needs in the community, what is the community saying they need from us, and then doing everything, like I said, from education to fresh food access to place-based improvements, with a real focus on public health and environmental justice.
Which is the thing, actually, we're going to be looking at a video a little bit later that I loved, when it was almost like this realization by you that it's like, you know what we're really about is a healthy community.
Exactly.
And environmental justice, which is a big thing close to my heart as well. So, just to segue just briefly, could you just tell the audience a little bit about how Community InRoads intersects with Groundwork Lawrence, what we've done with you? Just a few
You've been
things.
an amazing supporter for ours. Think about it, from that little project of the little database we needed, because all we had was spreadsheets, and you found the volunteer to build us an Access database, to now you found us this great expert in our big database, right? Keeping up with our growth, because we're now 17 strong. But your work in helping connect local residents to boards and doing training, we've got 4 or 5 board members that have come through either your corporate program or the cultural inclusion program, and then all the projects in between. So Community InRoads has been a great partner and meeting us where we are in our growth. And we've grown so fast that having your network of professionals coming in and being able to help us at different times has been a huge asset. Yeah.
And I think another great thing about this is that our volunteers get a chance to meet you, Heather, and to meet what Groundwork Lawrence is doing, meet people on the Green Team, because remember we had one project, I don't know if you remember, where it was, I think Margaret Hamilton was working with the Green Team
Well,
together.
actually, Shay's logo on her shirt, Margaret helped us create.
You want to show people your logo?
Yep. Can you see the green team right here?
Yeah.
With the little leaf.
Yeah.
And at one point keeping it fresh. So we needed a way to kind of really let Green Team have its own identity because you do such great work, and also be able to tie that to Groundwork.
Yeah.
So Margaret worked on that and the farmers market.
Yeah.
So yes, it's amazing how these little projects just continue on and kind of really serve as the base support for what we do.
And we can't forget Fred. And then, right?
Right. Poor Fred came in to help the board understand kind of the bigger picture. Because we do everything from build parks to education, our finances are fairly complicated. And Fred came in and helped with that. And 5 years later, applied for and became our CFO.
Yeah.
So Fred's
exactly
finance director. And he's with Groundwork as much because of Green Team. I think he early on got to meet some Green Team members and fell in love with the program.
He fell in love with the program. He fell in love with the kids, a lot of the kids who you work with, and you should listen to him talk about Lawrence. I mean, he is just a real proponent of the community, which is wonderful.
It's where his roots are from. I mean, I think when we look back, almost all of us can count, my dad was working at Honeywell during the blizzard of '78, right? So there's always these connections that we don't always know until you start to get to know people better.
Exactly. I want to now circle back, and I'm wondering if Cable Access can show us a fantastic video called Place Matters, right?
Yep.
So we will keep quiet now, and we will let Nate, what's his last name, the videographer?
Nate Hendry from Tower Hill Films.
From Tower Hill Films, does a beautiful job. So.
Looks good. A lot of people know us for our place-based work, the new parks, the trails, and really from the environmental place where we started. But what I've come to realize, and we've come to realize as we've talked to folks, is that we're really all about public health. It's really about creating a healthy, strong Lawrence. We're really excited this year that we completed phase 2 of the improvements on the North Common with the city. It really is the front yard, backyard for so many residents in the North Common. The kids can play, the seniors are there, the farmers market is there, and the North Common really is reaching the potential that it's had from day one when it was donated to the city. We're really excited that Costello Garden came online. It's 20,000 square feet, and it's really an urban farm in downtown Lawrence. And Green Team's really taken it to a new level.
Today we were harvesting squash, kale, cucumbers, carrots, tomatoes, anything you can really think of. The vegetables that we harvested today will be sold at our farmers market, and then the rest will be given to the Bread and Roses Soup Kitchen.
They grew over 1,000 pounds of food this year, and it's been really important both to the organization but really to Green Team to know that they're contributing to their community as well as learning about the business of running an urban farm.
I think it's an important thing to get people in Lawrence actually caring about what they're eating and putting inside their bodies. Obesity is kind of a problem nowadays, and I think if people kind of are involved in growing their own food and see the process of little seedlings into full produce, that they'll actually enjoy eating it.
We're really excited this year to be able to expand our work on the Spigot River, and we were able to hire a Spigot River crew that really was able to get beyond what we can do in just one annual cleanup every year, and they spent weeks this summer cleaning up the trash.
We cleaned up for 10 weeks over the summer with the Spigot River crew, and we were able to get tons of trash out of the Spigot River. Our day consisted of jumping in the river and kind of getting dirty. The most common thing we found were tires and mattresses.
Woo-hoo! Mattress rodeo!
But we found anything from like microwaves, toasters, you had a whole kitchen in here, you had a whole bedroom in here. You could probably create a car from all the parts that we found in the river.
down by the confluence where the Spigot meets the Merrimack River, that's where a lot of investment is going and new jobs are coming in. And it's just as important to have good roads as it is to have a healthy river and a beautiful river for new businesses to come in and look at. So it's been exciting to do that. So in the last 2 years, Groundwork Lawrence has been working with the new superintendent, Lee Sieber, and we're really excited about the expansion in our youth programs. We worked with 500 students last year, and we're working with 1,000 this year, and that's in our extended learning time programming as well as out of school. Never mind, we've been able to double the size of Green Team, so we're really looking at a huge investment in Lawrence's youth in the city.
Personally, I never thought that I could do something in Lawrence, and working with Green Team, I've really realized that even the little things that you do, they can really make a big impact.
So changing places, changing lives, and boy, you really are. I mean, this is, some of us say it, but you are really doing it. And
Thank you.
well, I think it was, we were saying 10 years later, if you were to go back into that office now, you recently moved to 50 Island Street, you would expect to see a big building filled with employees doing what you're doing, and it certainly has expanded in terms of the number of employees that are working for you, but it's not commensurate with the amount of work and impact that you do in the community, meaning that there's still nowhere near the number of people working there. It's just a shock to see what you guys are able to accomplish.
Thank you, but we do it with partners, right? It doesn't make sense. We can be stronger together, and we can grow the pie of resources and impact. And so we look to see where we can partner with the Lawrence Partnership, with Community InRoads, with Lawrence Community Works, because why replicate the wheel? So, and the city is a key partner as well. I mean, the city has their strengths, and we do as well, and we can work together to create things like the Spigot River Greenway, which took over 15 years to realize. And it was one park and one garden at a time, and all of a sudden it was like there was enough confidence in everything that we were doing together to say, okay, what's the budget? And the state made a huge investment for the Spigot River Greenway, and then at the new park at the Ferris site. And even other projects like Denrock that Shay's going to be able to talk about. But it's all about doing it in partnership, and how can we really accomplish more, because resources are tight.
Mm-hmm. But one thing about you is, so Heather is the kind of person who, it's like, if there is a need and you see that there's a need and there may not be the money, you're gonna find it.
We're gonna figure it out.
And it comes from the need in the community. And I don't see a big ego there at all, which I think is another thing that makes you and Groundwork very successful. One of the things that I'd love to talk about today is the Green Team. So if you could talk, there's so many programs, we could be here for hours and hours and hours. But if you could talk a little bit about that, I'd appreciate it.
So Green Team, and we'll have Shay really kind of talk about her experience this summer. But it's a year-round program. In the summer, we hire 30 high school students who live in Lawrence, with 6 team leaders that are a little bit older, usually in their early 20s. Hopefully, and this year we have alumni come back, because it's all about a pipeline of really supporting youth in jobs, in education, and in leadership. So we've got 36 amazing young people working hard in the city, and then we have 10 that we have during the school year that continue that work as well. And it started a small program for middle school students, and every year we look to see how we can increase access and more jobs for Lawrence high school students. Shay, do you want to talk a bit about what you're doing this summer?
So like Heather said, it's 30 high school students at the Green Team, and we're all split into 3 different teams. So my team is So Green Denrock, so I'm working at Denrock Park. We're basically doing park management, trail management, and community outreach. So when we're at Denrock, we're looking at what we can fix in Denrock to make it open to the community and for more people to go to it. I live in South Lawrence, so Denrock is literally, it could be my backyard. And I used to drive past it all the time because I didn't know it was there. When I got to Green Team, I was like, I drive by here all the time. I never saw this. And so I go in and I'm like, what am I getting myself into? And I realized it's so beautiful there. Like, you could literally bring, like, families could go there, your friends could go there, and you could see the Den Rock, which is like a huge rock in the park where you can actually rock climb. And there's an overlook to the beaver pond, which we're actually planning on fixing so it's safe for the community to go on. And there's an amphitheater that we're so excited to fix this year. And like, people would look past it and not know that it was an actual place that you could sit down. It's literally a theater. And so my team today actually as well, they're going out to fix it so others could enjoy it as much as we do. So yeah.
So I think Denrock is about 120 acres, and people don't realize it's one of 2 urban wilds now with Ferris Park in the city. And you can go and see beavers and herons and all kinds of wildlife, and the Shawsheen River goes through there. But you actually went to a meeting recently, didn't you, to advocate for Denrock?
Yes, I did, and it was nerve-wracking.
What was the issue? What was going on?
We actually, one of the problems in Denrock was that we had to fix the trail markings. So we ourselves sometimes get lost in Denrock because it's so big. So we decided we need to fix the trail markings so visitors that come are able to navigate throughout the park. So we, it was 4 of us that went out onto the meeting.
The Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
No, that is nervous.
Right, that's a mouthful to a Conservation Commission.
And we went to advocate for $350 to fix the trail markings at the park.
And the result was, have you heard yet?
We actually got the $350.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
you should have
you.
asked for more.
Well, I think they left the opening for you, right? They said build a plan and come back, and they might
Yes.
be able to help
Okay.
more.
Yes. The overlook was also something that we wanted to fix. But since of the limited time that we have at Denrock during the summer, the school year Green Team will be the one finishing the project for us. So the members of So Green Denrock this year are just planning what the plan is to fix the overlook for the beaver pond. That way, so the school year Green Team are able to get the money and fix the overlook for. So hopefully during the fall it's going to be fixed.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And actually, what was amazing, so Tennis Lilly is the conservation chair, and he went out with you, right,
Yeah.
to tour Denrock. And Tennis was one of the the advocates that saved Denrock.
That's right.
Probably about 15, 20 years ago.
I think even longer than that. It was
Potentially
quite a while
longer,
ago.
quite a while ago, because in 2004, Groundwork worked with the city to do improvements to the parking lot and to make it accessible. But Tennis was one of the people making sure that that amazing asset for the city didn't get completely sold, the whole thing, for housing and condos. So there was a compromise. There's some condos there, but Denrock was saved. And Tennis sent me photos while he was out there with you, and the past Green Team members and middle schoolers painted birdhouses and put them up to help with that support the wildlife there, and the Green Team members' names were on them, and I was seeing Green Team members' names that graduated
From way back.
from 2006.
Yeah.
So over 10 years ago, which makes you feel good. It's it's all the work that Shay does that makes it easier and exciting for me to do my work.
How did you wind up getting involved with the Green Team?
So my friend was already in the Green Team, and she was telling me, she was like, you need a job? I was like, yeah, I do. And so she explained to me what Groundwork Lawrence was and what the Green Team was. And this is actually my 2nd year at Green Team. I can no longer be there for the summer because I'm a senior now. But last year, it was my 1st year, and I was actually on a different team though. I was in So Connected, and it was a community outreach. So I was more with the community instead of like the cleaning of the parks and Denrock. But I got involved because I wanted to make a difference. I seen what they were doing, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. And like Heather mentioned, the bird,
The heron?
Just tell us what it sounds like.
The bird feeder, the bird
Oh, the bird
bird
feeders,
house.
the bird houses. Yes, right.
She's too young to be forgetting words.
Seeing that, it actually made me happy because like they could go down and see, oh, my name is still carved in that.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to be able to go back and be like, I did that. So when the overlook for the beaver pond is done, I'm gonna be like, I was a part of that, and I will be really proud of myself because I feel like I made a difference in my community. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are, and all that you're doing is going to have a long-lasting impact on the community. Is there anything about participating in Green Team that you feel has had a big impact in the direction of your life, or confidence levels, or?
Definitely confidence level, because I'm a really shy person at times.
As we can see, right?
And when you're involved with your community, you have to have confidence. You have to know what you're talking about, and you have to inform people what you know. So you want to let everyone know that this is what the community needs, and we have the power to do it. And if we would just join together, we could all make it possible. So definitely, confidence level did. The confidence level did go up. Also, just working with different kinds of people. Like working with Heather and my team members, is new people that you see for the first time, and then you become so close at the end of the summer, like, I don't want to leave you. So yeah, it's really fun to be on the Green Team. So you learn a lot, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know was wrong with the community, because you're blindsided. You really don't, you think everything's okay, and it's not. And if no one tells you about it, it's like you're never going to know. So when someone is telling you what's wrong and you have the ability to fix it, it's like, why am I not doing something? So that's a lot to take in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the fact that you are empowered. Heather, what were you going
Yeah, I
to
was
say?
going to say, and hopefully at the end of the summer, we're talking about internships.
Yeah.
Seniors can come back this summer after they graduate, so before they go off to the next big thing. So hopefully, we'll keep thinking about how we can work together.
They're stuck with me.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
So Heather doesn't have to keep you captive. And
Right.
You're gonna just be sticking along. You know, I wish we had more time to spend talking about your programs, and I'm wondering if at some point in time we can bring you back and highlight another one of your
Sure.
programs. But in the interim, is there anything before we leave that you'd like people to know about that's coming up, or encourage people to go to?
Definitely. We talked about fresh food access, and we have the farmers markets, and some of Shay's colleagues are in the So Fresh group. And so we have 3 farmers markets, 2 in Lawrence and 1 in Methuen, that we hope folks will come and visit. And you know, we're in a market we're in the business of making fresh food available. So that's by bringing the markets, accepting SNAP EBT, but the state also has an amazing new program called HIP, Healthy Incentives Program. So if you have an EBT card, you can come to the farmers market or join the CSA, and every month, depending on your family size, you get a certain amount of money back. So you come to the farmers market, you spend $25, $40, you immediately have that back on your card before you even leave the market, and then you have more funds to buy food that month. So HIP's been a huge supporter for the market, as well as just being able to come in and get access to great local healthy fresh food. And so HIP is a great program, and people should have received information, but they can reach out to us if they need more. We also have...
How do they get in contact with you, Heather?
So the website's easiest thing to get to us, groundworklawrence.org. No S, sometimes people put the S on Groundworks. And they can also, Maria, if on the staff page, Maria is the best person to talk to. And Shay, you've been involved with the Greenway 5K?
Yes, I have. So the 5K is, oh, it's right there. On Sunday, August 13th, we're having a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. And it's going to be it starts at Manchester Street Park, and it ends all the way at Ferris. And it's just a great way for families and friends to come together. Kids are, of course, allowed. So it starts at 9, and it ends at 10:30. And the kids there's like a kid run, so they're literally running around.
Oh, neat.
They can take their energy out in the morning.
Yeah.
Joan, you should join us.
As a
because-
kid, yeah.
As a kid. But the 5K, most 5Ks out there are for runners, right? They're a race. We created the 5K, to be honest, a staff member asked us to do, and we said we have too many events. An AmeriCorps member asked, and we said we have too many events. Green Team said, we have to get people on the Spigot River Greenway. We want to do a 5K, and we said, okay, if Green Team wants this and wants to work on this, we should do it together. So our very first, my best memory is our first year, our Green Team leader's grandmother did the whole thing with her walker.
Wow.
So this is about health. This is about getting out there, seeing the 10 parks. So we really hope folks will join us on August 13th.
Yeah, that does sound neat.
So,
and I'm going to be around.
So you can come walk it
Yes,
with me.
I can. And luckily right now it won't be with the walker. but when the time comes,
When the
I'll
time
be
comes,
there
you
too.
can still do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. And
So
I guess,
one other question. If somebody wanted to donate to you,
yes, you can do that
how
right
do
online
they do
as
that?
well.
Right on your website?
Yep, groundworklawrence.org, and they
Okay.
can donate specifically to one of the programs or just general. And you know, we hope that they come in and maybe volunteer as well. We have people who come and volunteer on the farm. We have volunteer events throughout the year, and we also do special volunteer opportunities for groups. So if Community InRoads wants to bring together a group of people and come out to a park or a farm, the farm, we're happy to put you to work and help us change places and change lives in
Excellent.
Lawrence.
Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. And thank you all for joining us today as well. If you're interested in learning more about Community InRoads, please do contact us at 978-604-8803. We continue to welcome new volunteers to our Community InRoads family to help organizations like Groundwork Lawrence, without an S, to make big differences in changing people's lives and changing places as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.